G'day kids and grown-ups. If you are loving watching and learning with Ozzie, it would be amazing if you could please do me a really big favour and just tell anybody else that you think might enjoy it too. In the meantime, enjoy this brand new episode, and as always, stay keen.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now today we are at the New South Wales Mounted Police and we're going to meet some police officers and of course some police horses. Now the horses we're going to meet today have been specially trained and they play a very important role in the job they do with the police. So let's get inside and learn all about the New South Wales Mounted Police. Let's go.
And then we pop the saddle on. You can't go anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. I don't want to get arrested. Where is Ed, the troop cat? Wow, check this out kids, look. I found our first horse. And this one is called Prince. Hello Prince. Wow, isn't he beautiful? Let's go and see who else we can find. I think there's lots of horses out being trained and being walked. I found some police officers. Let's go and introduce ourselves. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Ozzie.
I'm Nicole.
Nice to meet you, Nicole.
you. Hi Ozzie, how are you?
Hi, I'm great.
I'm Chloe.
Lovely to meet you, Chloe.
You too.
All right, thank you so much for having us here today.
That's okay.
So we're going to talk all about your job and these amazing animals we've got here that help you with your job.
Yes.
They play a very important role.
They do.
And we're going to teach your kids all about what the Mounted Police do. So where do we start?
Well, there's a lot to it. So we primarily are an assistant unit. So we help the public in terms of public order and heaps of like protests and group gatherings. So that's mainly our role. We do assist other cops on the ground if there's any jobs. So yeah.
Amazing. And now, is this horse here your horse?
This is Rolly. So this is my horse. This is my allocated horse that I ride most of the time. So he's been here for about 5-6 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's nearly 10 years old.
Rolly is 10. Okay,
Yes.
now, as I walked in, I saw that the other horses had name tags on here, but how come Rolly doesn't have a name tag there?
I know. So Rolly is one of our cheeky horses. Okay.
What does Rolly get up to? What kind of
Rolly
mischief?
gets up to a lot of mischief, and one of those things is he eats his nameplate.
He eats it.
Yep, and it falls off.
There
That's
you go.
one
Rolly, you're
thing he
cheeky.
does whilst he tries to escape. So see how his gate has 3 locks on there? It's because he can pull off this one and he can pull off this one, but lucky he can't reach the bottom one because otherwise he would escape his box all the time.
So Rolly is an escape artist.
Very much so.
Amazing.
Yes.
Now, Rolly looks like he's very comfortable being touched by me.
Yes.
Are all the horses quite placid like that? Is that just part of their training?
So not all horses can just be approached like
Right.
you have just approached Rolly.
Yeah.
Some horses may bite. I mean, not all horses love people, and that's okay because we can't all like everybody,
Yeah.
like horses. So I guess when you do approach the horses, you can tell a lot by their facial expressions if they do like being touched. And one of those is their ears. So if their ears are pointed backwards like this,
Yeah.
it's like a no-no,
Oh,
like they
wow.
don't want to be approached. But if they're forward, that means that they're curious and alert and they are more than likely happy to be touched or pat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is a good place to pat a horse? Do I go up
Yeah.
and give a horse a pat on the butt or on the side? or is it okay just on the face? What's the best place?
Yeah, Ozzie, that's a really good question because we have kids that obviously love horses and love seeing us on the streets. So it's best that when you go up and see us on the streets to go, "Hi, can I please touch your horse?" Always ask that permission just in case one of our officers is riding a horse that doesn't like to be touched. So generally we like touching them on their shoulder. So for the horse's shoulder, it's just right here,
Okay.
just above their leg.
Okay. Looks like a nice place to give
Yep,
Rolly a
good
nice
place
pat.
to give him a pat.
Very
And
good.
he's happy. His ears are in a curious place, so you might be confused that they're back, but they're not. They're not flat against his neck, so
Okay.
he's still happy for you to touch him.
Okay.
And generally, if they're not, they'll move away from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Nicole, we've talked a lot about Rolly. Where's your horse and what's your horse's name?
So my horse's name is Royal.
And how old is Royal?
Royal is 18.
18?
Yes,
Okay.
18. So he's one of our older horses. He's been at the unit for a very long time.
Okay.
And he's a fantastic police horse.
Great.
Yeah.
Royal and Rolly, what kind of horse are they and what kind of horses do they need to be a good police horse?
Yep. So we don't have any particular breed
Okay.
that the horse needs to be.
Right.
It basically just needs to be, the colour's an important thing because of our tradition. So
Okay.
they have to be bay, black, or brown in colour.
Okay.
And that's just a traditional thing.
All right, you said bay. Is that a colour?
Yes. So,
So
actually,
Aussie's learning here today lots.
Yeah.
And colour, I didn't think I was going to learn about colour, but
Yeah.
bay is what colour?
It sure is. Royal's actually bay.
Okay.
So what it is, it's brown coat, generally a lighter brown coat, and a
Okay.
black mane and tail, and
There
their
you go.
legs are black on the lower half of their legs as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we've learned about 2 of the horses here. How many horses do you have in total here?
We have about 30 horses.
Between 30 35 generally. Yeah.
Let's talk about you ladies and how long you've been police officers, and when you start, can you just come straight in and work with the horses straight away, or do you have to do something else?
So you can't just come straight to the mounted police.
Okay.
You have to be a general police officer for 3 years at least before you come here,
Right.
generally. And a general duties police officer is your first responder. So basically if you call 000, they're the ones that are going to come and help you. And yeah, so if you've done 3 years there, then you can apply to come here.
Okay.
And you have to do a writing test. And then if you pass that writing test, then you can apply to come here.
Great.
Generally 3 years is the minimum amount of time that you have to spend doing normal police work.
Normal general police duties,
Yeah.
yeah. So there would be lots of kids out there, I imagine, that would love this episode today and love to become a mounted police officer, but you've got to do 3 years of general duties.
Yes.
Yep. And Chloe, yourself, how long have you been here?
Yep, so I've been a mounted police officer for about 3.5 years, just under, and in the job itself as a police officer, 5.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
we're only 3 months apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was in the session above me at the police academy.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's
Wow.
a small world.
Yeah.
It is.
I've only been here for 18 months.
Okay.
So Chloe has a lot more experience
Yeah.
than me.
So when we come in to the unit, when a new officer transfers here, we have to still partake in training before we're allowed to go out on the street on the horses. So that training can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months, and we are just instructed riding every day. That's generally our duties. We get to ride every day.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
Do you have the best job in the world?
Yes.
Well,
We think
maybe.
so.
Yeah. Well, you've got to
Yeah.
think so, right?
Yeah,
You're doing it every day, and
Yeah.
as they say, if you love what you do,
Exactly.
you never work a day
You
in
never
your
work
life.
a day in your
This
life.
is just your life, right?
So-
You get to spend all day with these animals. Which
Yeah.
is pretty cool, I reckon.
Yeah.
We love riding, and
Yeah.
we get to do our hobby, what we absolutely love, every single day.
And you get
So,
paid for it.
Yes.
And we get paid for it.
And you're helping the community, and you're keeping people safe.
Mm.
Yep. So, what kind of jobs do the mounted police do? Why do we use horses in the police
Yep.
force?
So the first reasoning for using horses is our advantage of being up so high.
Okay.
So we can see above the crowds and see what's going on.
That's a
so
good idea.
that's a good advantage.
The other way would be to wear some stilts, but then that's probably not very safe, is it?
I don't know how we'd go chasing someone.
That's right. Probably a bit better on a horse. Okay.
It is a little bit better. Now, not all the time. If someone was to run away from us, we're not going to chase after them. It depends. There's lots of things we have to take into consideration because, like us, horses do have to wear shoes, and we'll show you that later. The surfaces can be quite slippery, so if we were to chase after somebody, the horse might fall over like we would have fall over. But that is another thing that we do. We do assist in arrests, so arresting people when they get in trouble, and that's something that we can show you later, Ozzie. And at the moment, I don't know if you know, there's lots of protests going on, lots of people gathering and saying how they feel. So we just help keep the community safe by going to those events and making sure everybody abides by the rules and everyone keeps safe and out of trouble.
Now, I don't imagine that all horses would like to be around lots of people, but the horses that you use, they have to be trained really well. How long does it usually take to train a horse, or is everyone different?
Look, it really depends on the horse and how old they are, what they've done before they come here. Generally, you're looking at 6 to 12 months to really get that training behind the horse. Some of our horses that have been here for 10 years that can handle anything might not like a motorbike going past them. You know, there will always be that one thing that a horse might be frightened of, and that's okay because they don't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
But most of the horses here do their job pretty well.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
So tell me about your uniforms. It looks pretty standard, right? But you've got some different boots and some different pants.
Yeah.
We do.
Talk to
So
me about those.
Ozzie, our uniform is similar to a normal police uniform, but a little bit different.
Yep.
I've got riding boots on, I've got, these are called chaps, and I've got riding pants on.
Okay.
I've got my police belt,
Yes.
which I have my firearm, and I have my handcuffs, normal police shirt, and obviously I have my hat, sun safe.
Got to be sun safe.
Yep. Do you want me to show you my handcuffs?
Oh, can I see them?
If you want.
I've never been a bad boy, so I've never seen them before, so I'm looking forward to this.
Okay, ready? So these are handcuffs.
Wow.
So we obviously only use them on naughty people.
Wow. That's why I've never seen them before.
See them?
Okay. Oh, wow.
You
I
don't
don't-
really want to have them on you.
I think
No, I
Rolly's
don't.
a bit curious as
Have you
well.
seen these
These
before?
are handcuffs.
Yeah, they usually come out when the
might-
bad people are around.
You
if
might
they've done
try to
something
eat
wrong.
them.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably
Yeah,
would.
he-
He's a bit cheeky.
Yeah.
All right, so how do I put that on?
So it goes on like this,
Oh, wow.
and the other arm like that. There you go.
Oh, that's not
and then
cool.
I lock them. And then you can't
You're
go
done.
anywhere.
All right,
I'll
so
go now.
that's what happens.
We'll just leave you here.
Yeah.
All right,
Unattended.
see you later. I'm not sure what I do now, kids, because I am well and truly stuck in these.
It's okay. I'll come to the rescue.
Oh, thank you
so
very
this
much.
is my handcuff key.
Okay, you don't want to lose that one.
No. And we all have the same handcuff key, so I can do anyone's,
Oh,
undo
wow.
anyone's handcuff.
Okay,
And that's how I take them off.
that's
there you
much
go.
better. I do
Free
prefer
now.
it without having those on, so I'm going to make sure
Oh, he finds it
does
funny.
I'm going to make sure I do the right thing, stay on the right side of the law, so I don't ever have to wear those, other than you just showing me how they work.
Yes.
All right. So, what about? We've talked about your uniform. What about uniform for the horses? What
Yes.
do they wear? You don't just sit on them without just on their back, do you? You got to
We
put something on.
don't. We do. So I've got here. This is Rolly's gear. So as we can see, we've got a saddle that goes
Okay.
on. We've got a saddle blanket that sits under the saddle, and then they have a special.
Wow.
This is part of their uniform. So this
Okay.
is called a breastplate. So it sits over their neck. They've got their police checkers and their own special police badge.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yep. And then we've got a bridle because, you know, we need some sort of control, don't we?
So that's what you hold, and that's what you use to ride.
That's
the
exactly
horses.
right, Ozzie.
Yeah.
So what I can do is I can saddle Rolly up for you and show
Love
you
to.
how it's done.
Awesome. All right, let's do it.
Okay. Okay, so we've got the saddle blanket on, that goes first. And then we pop the saddle on.
What's next?
We need the breastplate with the badge.
Oh, this one.
That's
He
the
needs
one.
his badge. Here's your
He
uniform.
needs his badge. Otherwise people won't know he's a police horse.
There you go, of course.
So we'll put that over his head, which sits on his neck here. And we tie this up to the saddle so it doesn't fall down. So we have Nicole to help on the other side there. And we'll do his girth up.
Okay, so you said you're going to do the girth up. What's the girth?
So the girth is this strap that goes underneath his belly.
Okay.
So what it does, it keeps the saddle secure on his back.
Okay.
So we don't fall off.
You don't want the saddle to fall off because you're going to fall off with it, aren't you?
We will.
That would not be fun.
So I'm just doing the girth up now.
Okay.
And then before I get on, I'll check that it's extra tight.
Yep.
Because I don't want the saddle slipping.
Yeah.
Because I'll fall off.
You don't want that to happen.
Don't want that to happen. So what's next is his bridle. So that's where the bit goes in his mouth and I have the rein so I can control
okay.
him when I sit on him.
All right. Now, is Rolly comfortable with all this gear on?
He is.
Yeah.
They are used to it. They have their saddle on every day. So they know their job. They know that when their saddle is going on, that there's a job going to be done and they're going to be out there on the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
They switch into work
They
mode.
do switch into work mode.
Amazing.
Some horses are very keen that they stand at their stables ready to go.
Cool.
Thanks, Ozzie. So we'll just pop that on him now. I'll turn him around so we
Okay,
can
so
see.
he takes that one off.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll put the bit in his mouth.
Okay, so that's what he bites down on?
That's what he bites down on. That
Cool.
helps me control where he goes.
Right.
Get his hair out of the way.
So if there's kids out there that are watching that do love horses, how old can you be to start riding a horse? Obviously not a police horse, but just a normal horse.
So to give you an idea, Ozzie, I've been riding since I was a little girl, and I was about 4 years old when I started riding.
Wow.
It really depends, I guess. Firstly, your passion for horses, your love for horses, and if mummy and daddy are happy to buy you a horse at a young age. It is a lot of work that goes into keeping a horse and
Yep.
having a horse, riding a horse.
Yeah.
But I love it. I loved it as a little girl, and I highly recommend riding a horse just as a hobby and something
Yeah.
to do. Yeah.
So if you don't want to just go out and buy a horse,
Yep.
if you just want to try before you buy,
Yes,
you can go to one of the
exactly.
horse riding places. There's be lots all around Sydney and all
Exactly.
around Australia and all around the world, I'm sure.
Exactly, and I do suggest that, Ozzie, too, because some kids might love horses, but then change their mind after they ride them too.
Yeah. You don't want a horse if you're not going to ride it. You want to look
Exact-
after your horse, right?
Exactly. Horses take a lot of care,
Yeah.
a lot of time as well.
Okay, now do you have time to have your own horse outside of your job?
Look, Ozzie, I do. I do
great.
love horses. So outside of work, when I'm not here, I'm looking after my horse at home
Wow.
and riding as well. So it's a
So
full-time job,
you are
extra
just
full-time
with
job.
Horses 24/7.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Very good. All right, so Rolly's ready to go.
Rolly is ready to go. So what we can do is you can take him out and you can watch me ride him.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. Ozzie's going to help me walk this horse. So what we like to do is walk the horses before we hop on because it warms up their back and gets
Okay.
their muscles moving. It's like when you might do exercises at school
Right.
before you play a game or
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
So similar. So what I just need you to do, so Rolly is cheeky like we talked about.
Yeah.
So sometimes he likes to grab and bite his reins. So I'll just get you to hold close to his bit there.
Yeah.
And then always stay on this side of him.
Okay.
And then just ask him to walk on by, come on, and
Walk on.
click. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Hello. All right. This is fun.
You're a natural, Ozzie.
Hey, we're buddies
Do you
already,
wanna
aren't we,
join?
Rolly? Do I want to join
Yeah.
and be a police officer? A mounted policeman? I think I could do this. Maybe.
You can just walk straight if you want. He's pretty good.
He's awesome. You want to run, don't you? You want to gallop. We're not ready to gallop. I definitely can't keep up with you.
He's like, are we gonna run? Are we gonna run?
We can... Nah, let's not. Let's not. Hey.
Good job.
relax.
You're a natural, Ozzie.
Oh, thank you very much.
Here, I'll
All
grab
right.
him from you.
Not
And
so natural then.
you can meet some other horses now.
All right. Okay, let's go with Nicole. We're going to meet your horse.
Yes. Chicken! Hi! He knows me. Hi!
All right. See, this is Royal,
This is Royal.
but his nickname is Chicken. That's cute. Why's his nickname Chicken?
Look, he was chicken a long time before I started here,
Okay.
so I'm not entirely sure, but
it's cute and he likes it.
Yeah, and everyone just calls him chicken.
That's awesome.
So, you know, we were talking about bay horses.
Yes.
He's bay.
Okay, so that's the colour, bay.
Yeah, so I'll open this
Right.
up. Okay, so Royal is a bay horse.
Okay.
So as you can see, he's interested in the licorice that I've got.
Licorice?
Come on. Yes. Horses love licorice.
Wow.
Yeah, so they don't only like carrots.
That is fascinating. So
Yeah.
horses like carrots. What else they like? Hay?
They love hay.
And they like licorice.
Yes, they
Wow,
love,
that's
and they love
amazing.
apples as well.
And apples.
Yeah,
Okay.
so licorice is Royal's favourite treat.
Okay.
So I always have some ready for me, for him. So he's bay. So as you can see, his coat is brown,
Okay.
and then his legs are black.
All right.
And his mane and tail are black as well.
Okay.
So this is bay.
That's Bay.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful looking horse, kids.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to saddle up.
I'm going to saddle up to Brooke.
Oh, you're going to
So-
saddle up. Okay, so we've met.
So he's my
We've met Royal.
main horse. So,
Oh, so we get to meet another horse now. So we're going to meet
Yeah.
Tobruk.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're all allocated 4 horses.
Right.
So our first horse is our main horse.
Yep,
And then
that's
we have
Royal.
That's Royal.
Yeah.
And then we have a second horse. And we
Okay.
often ride our second horse as
Okay,
well.
cool.
So my second horse is Tobruk.
All right.
And he's fantastic as
Awesome. All right. And you got any nicknames for Tobruk?
well. No.
Brookie?
So well, you know what?
Tobes?
His name, it's clever. His name when he came here was Louis.
Louis.
So yeah, so people that are quite closer to Brooke call him Louis.
Okay.
So my sergeant, Tobruk is her first horse.
Oh, wow.
And she often calls him Louis.
Okay.
So that's his little nickname.
Yeah, I like it. All
Yeah.
right. So you're going to saddle up Tobruk now.
Yep. And Tobruk is bay as well. That colour.
Okay.
He's bay as well.
All right. Another beautiful looking horse. Check it out,
He
kids.
is. Oh, come on, Tobruk. Come here. Come, I got some licorice for you.
Do you like
on.
licorice too?
Yeah.
Wow, you and me can be pals because I love licorice.
I
You like
don't.
licorice? You don't?
No, so they can have all my licorice. So Tobruk used to be a racehorse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So before he came here, he raced, and he was actually pretty good. And now we're lucky enough to have him as a police horse.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
the horses have all different types of backgrounds.
They do.
Yeah, okay.
So Royal, that you met before, he's a stock horse.
Okay.
So stock horses generally are for mustering sheep.
All right.
So he's from a farm.
okay.
And then Tobruk is, yeah, a racehorse.
So does that skill translate from mustering sheep to mustering people? Is that
Look,
just as good?
Possibly. I wouldn't say 100%,
Yep.
but possibly.
There you go.
Yeah, so we have a huge range of different breeds. There's no particular breed that we need.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Nicole, I've noticed that each horse has one of these on it.
Yeah.
What's all this information?
So this is just a little bit of information on the horse.
Okay.
So like I said before, his main rider calls him Louis. And
Okay.
so that, as you can see here, Louis, that was his name before he came to the unit.
Right. I noticed there with the height,
Yeah.
you said 6.2 hands. So you measure the horse in hands.
Yeah, so generally, I mean, I have very little hands, so a hand is a bit bigger than my hand.
Right.
But generally, it's measured like that.
Okay.
But with a bigger hand.
There you go.
So a little kid might have many more hands than 16 hands, but it's measured based on a adult's larger hand.
Okay. Fascinating information.
Yeah.
So these are the stables, kids, and as you can see, there's lots of different horses. This one here is called Ismo. He used to be called Vegemite. That's a cool name for a horse, isn't it? And this one is Star. Look at Star. She's a beautiful black horse. And I know she's a she because she's a mare. And mare is a female horse. So we've met our first mare. Very cool. And PD. PD is a gelding, so it's a boy horse. And it says here that PD likes hay, 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 and hay. Lots and lots of hay. Who do we have here? Oh, Kenobi. Kenobi's having a drink. Are you thirsty, Kenobi? Hello. 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 Kenobi's come over to say hello again, and Kenobi is a mare. What's a mare? It's a female horse. Good job, kids. And Kenobi loves hay as well. All right, let's go to Brooke. All right, so are we ready to go riding now?
Not quite.
Why is that?
What do you think I'm missing?
So you haven't got your helmet on.
Exactly.
I just
We
noticed
never
that.
ever ride a horse without a helmet.
Oh, safety
Very
first.
important.
Safety first, as always.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab my helmet.
Okay.
Do you want to hold it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Ozzie, we're about to go into the area where we work the horses.
Okay.
It's called an arena.
Right.
We call it the menage. It's the same thing. So what we'll do is we'll take you in there now and show you what we do.
Awesome, let's go.
Before we go in here, safety again is our top priority. So we can't just walk on in. What we yell is gate, and then they know that we're about to walk in.
Okay, there you go. So you never walk behind a horse, kids, so I'm gonna keep my distance when I'm walking in, following them in. Okay, kids, we are in the arena now. It's also known as the menage.
Yes, correct.
And because we're in here, safety first, I've got my helmet on. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Some people riding horses down there?
There is. So we've got some of our riders at the moment just working their horses, so getting them fit. So we've got Michelle here on one of our troop horse Joker.
Okay.
So what she's doing is just, we have to work them in here to get them ready to go out on the street.
Okay.
So if they're responding to us in here, we feel happy that they're going to respond to us out there. So Joker is one of our big horses, so it takes a lot of physical strength and effort to ride him.
Okay,
So
it looks like a lot of fun, but it's actually not that, it is fun, but it's not
fun,
that easy, right?
But it's very physical.
Okay, good to know.
Yes.
All right, so you don't need to go to the gym, you just come to work.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
We can get on the horses from the ground, and when I mean that, I mean I can jump up from here, but we like to help their backs, and so we use an assistant block.
Okay.
So what we do is I'll pop this block near him, and that'll help me get on.
All right, so that's how
We're
it's
on.
done. Okay.
That's how it's done.
All right, but you don't have one of these when you're out on the street.
We don't have them
Do you
out
ever
on the
get
street.
off the horse when you're on the street?
We do, because
Okay.
sometimes we're on the horses for many hours, especially if we're out helping the public with the protests or
Right.
something like that. So when we get short 5 minutes, we'll jump off their backs, let them have a little bit of grass,
Right.
and give them a break.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so when you don't have these, you just put your foot in there and just jump on up.
we do.
But is that putting a lot more stress on the horse?
It does. It puts a little bit of stress on their back, and we
Okay.
always like to take care of our horses.
Of course.
So if we can find a little step up on the street,
Okay.
we'll use that to our advantage. So we like to walk them around, get them listening to us,
Okay.
make sure they're responding to our hands, and make sure they're responding to our legs. Because I'll show you later when we do an arrest on Ozzie that we need their complete attention, so they're listening to us when we move towards someone that's doing the wrong thing.
So you guys are just having a little walk around. It looks fairly relaxing for the horses and for you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're training in here, what are you actually doing?
Yep, so our horses get worked in here mostly every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Wow.
Because they're in those stables, as you saw earlier. So
Yeah.
we like to get them out and stretch their legs and get them warmed up for their daily duties.
Okay.
So the benefit of training horses in here, other than just going straight down the street, is for them to get comfortable first with the environment and get them moving. Like, as I'll show you later, we ask them to move sideways and backways. And if they're not listening to us in here, then they might not listen to us out there.
Okay.
So we do all of our training in here. We also do nuisance training, which involves a lot of flags, and we have assistant grooms that will throw equipment around, and what it gets the horses used to is moving towards crowds of people that
Okay.
might be throwing stuff
Yeah,
or
right.
waving flags or yelling. So we use that.
Okay.
And if they can do it in here, then fingers crossed they can do it out there.
Yeah, great. All right, so you're going to show us how you make the horses go side to side?
We can,
Yeah.
definitely. So what we do is when we go out on the streets, we're always in twos.
Okay.
So 1, 2, there's always 2 of us.
Right.
And when you see officers, the normal police out in the cars, there's always 2 of them.
Right.
That's for officer safety, if anything goes wrong, and also horses learn from each other too.
Okay.
So what we can do is we can show you how we usually work out in the street, and if we see something, how we move the horses.
Great.
Let's do that.
All right, let's do that. I'm going to stand here on these and watch you do your thing.
Perfect. Okay. Troop, walk, march. So let's imagine that there's a person over there we need to arrest, but only one of us can
Okay.
go over there.
Do you want me to be that person?
You can if you want.
Let's do it.
So Ozzie's over near the wall, and we're going to try and arrest him.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer.
Go stand along the wall.
Okay. What did I do?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
good boy.
So what we do here is we use the wall to our advantage when we can only use one horse, and we can block the offender in using the horse. Now if the offender tries to go out behind the horse, then we can move the horse's bum in so he can't move
Oh,
away.
wow. Okay,
he's
I'm
all
not
blocked
going anywhere.
in.
I'm not going anywhere. That's how you arrest someone with one horse?
Yep.
Yep.
So let's arrest Ozzie now when there's 2 of us.
Okay, where would you like me?
Just walk.
All right, like I've stolen something?
Yep. Police,
Oh.
stop!
Oh.
Stop, please stop.
Ah! Ah! Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Ah!
So as you can see, he can't go anywhere now.
I'm not going anywhere.
So if he tries to move from the back, he can't move between the horses, and if he moves from the front or tries to drop his body down, he can't go anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. I don't want to get arrested.
Well, let's just say you try to move backwards.
Yeah. Oh. All right, so you come with me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Or
right.
if we need to take you somewhere, you're coming with us wherever the horses go.
Okay, so you don't actually put the bad person on the back of the horse?
We can't do that.
You can't do that, no. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
so
acting,
that's how you.
Ozzie.
Yeah, well, I've never been arrested, so I'm glad that I could act it out very well. So that's how you arrest someone with one horse. That's how you arrest someone with 2 horses.
That's right.
Have you got any other cool things you want to show us?
We can, definitely. So Ozzie, remember when we were talking before and I said we do our nuisance training in here?
Yeah.
This is a piece of equipment we use on the ground to get the horses used to loud sounds.
Okay.
So
So we're not playing music.
We're not.
We're
we
training.
can try, but
Okay.
it's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
So what I'll get you to do is hold this, and I want you to shake it.
Okay.
And walk backwards that way.
Yep.
And that's part of our training. You're going to assist us.
Okay. All right. I'm going to train the horses, kids.
Good job.
Good boy.
Probably yell out, Ozzie, Ozzie, Ozzie.
Ozzie, Ozzie, Ozzie! Ozzie, Ozzie, Ozzie!
True.
right.
Oh,
All right, so that is some pretty loud noises. I was shouting, and the horses were pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
So that's what you're trying to teach them? Is that
exactly.
correct?
So you can imagine that, but with maybe 5 to 10 other people in your position
Right.
and 10 other horses in this position. Everything's a bit heightened and a bit loud. So like I said earlier, it gets the horses used to the loud crowds, any loud sounds out on the street. So when they are comfortable with it in this environment, which is meant to be a comfortable environment for them for their training, they'll go out in the street and they'll hear it and be like, I've heard this before, I'm used to this sound. That's the
Okay.
aim of the game.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Now,
we-
what happens if I'm a bad person and I just try and run? How fast can you go?
Good question.
Faster than me?
Probably. Simply, we will just assess first if there's people around, what the surface is like.
Right.
Let's just say you ran through a green field and there wasn't anyone around and you had something stolen in your possession. We might go, we are able to go get you.
Right.
But let's say you stole something and it was on concrete outside a shopping centre and there was heaps of people around. We might be putting other people in danger
Right.
and the horses. So we'll make the call to go, get on the police radio and go, Mounted 6, we need assistance. Can we get a car crew to assist with an offender that's just ran off with a stolen handbag?
Okay. So then you call in some help
Exactly.
from General
Duties police
General
that are
duties,
on the
yeah.
ground and are capable of probably getting to you through the crowd and more safely than we can.
Very good.
Yeah. Right wheel, walk march. Troop, trot, march. Troop, right wheel. Head, right wheel.
All right, so that looked amazing. I heard you were saying different things as you were going around and you were staying really close together. So what were the things you were saying?
Yep, so that just displayed a little bit of what we call drill.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've ever seen, and kids at home might have too, but the musical ride we do at the Royal Easter Show, which we will be doing in April next year.
I have seen that. It's
Yes.
incredible.
Thank you. So we use those languages because we've got a large number of people and we have specific directions we need to go. So we have one person that calls out what I was just calling before. So when we have a troop of horses is what we call it. So let's say we have 10 horses, it's known as a troop.
Okay.
So the caller will call out troop, and that's let everyone know that something's going to happen.
Okay.
So it might be troop left, wheel, and the horses will wheel to the left.
Wow.
Could be troop right wheel and horses will wheel to the right.
All right.
It's just a directional thing and assists us with doing the musical ride as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what's the musical ride, just for the kids that haven't seen it? What's it called and where can they see it?
Yep, so it is simply called the Police Musical Ride, conducted by the New South Wales Mounted Police.
Yes.
And we do usually do it at most shows, but the biggest show that we do it is the Sydney Royal Easter Show, which takes place in Easter every year, so April next year.
Amazing.
So you'll be able to see us live there if your family takes you, or you can see us on TV.
Very good. Now, I just want to say a huge thank you for having me down here today and teaching me and the kids all about this amazing job that you guys have and introducing me to some of these beautiful, beautiful animals. Have you got any final messages for the kids?
Yeah, well, firstly, thanks for coming and visiting us, Ozzie. It's been a pleasure showing you around and talking about what we love the most. I will touch base again on safety around our horses. We always have kids like yourselves come up and see us on the street. So just make sure that when you see us, you say hi, and before you approach, just say, "Can I please pat your horse?"
Right.
That's probably the most important thing. We always love talking to you and seeing you, so come and say hi.
Yeah, awesome. So we are here in Sydney and this is where the kids can come and visit you guys and wave through the fence.
Exactly.
On the street though, if you see these horses and these police officers out, you can come up and say hi. Can I touch your horse? And then you can come and give them a little pat.
They do love pats.
They do, I can tell. I've been patting them all day and they are loving it. I think I've got some new friends here
I think
in
so
you
too.
ladies,
I
but
think so
also
too.
in these horses. So I just want to say another huge thank you for teaching myself and the kids all about the Mounted Police. Hopefully the kids at home have loved learning all about the Mounted Police and getting to meet some of these beautiful animals. Kids, we'll see you on the next video. Until then, stay keen.
See you later.
Now we've met lots of beautiful horses today, but is it just horses you have here?
Good question. We actually don't just have horses, we have a stable cat.
You have a cat.
We have a cat, Troop Cat Ed. He's normally lounging around in the sun, not doing much work.
What is his job?
Well, his job is to catch mice and rats that get into the horse's feed.
Right.
Sometimes he does his job and sometimes he doesn't.
Right, so maybe he's off doing his job or maybe he's just sitting back relaxing.
I reckon he's off relaxing, but how about you go find
I'm
out?
going to see if I can find him. Ed,
Ed.
I'm coming for you. Ed. Ed, where is the cat? Where is Ed, the troop cat? Check this truck out. How good is that? Wow. I reckon you could fit a few horses in there. But where is the cat? Well, I can't find Ed here. Where do cats like hiding? It's a bit warm today, so maybe he's in the shade somewhere. Oh, there he is. Do you see him, kids? Look. We found Ed. He hasn't been seen for ages, but I managed to find him. Did you see him, kids? That was Ed. That's the infamous troop cat, Ed, that is always usually very hard to find, but I managed to find him. How lucky am I? Hey kids, did you have lots of fun today watching Ozzie? I hope so. Did you know that we've got a heap of Ozzie episodes on our YouTube channel? If you haven't already, go back and have a scroll through. I reckon you'll find some others that you absolutely love. And while you're there, why don't you hit subscribe? That way you won't miss out on any of our new videos that we bring out. We'll see you again soon, kids. Until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Ozzie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of